So New Jersey is cracking down on big oil companies who have contributed to the climate crisis for years. Now, even though they lie and they deny and they lie, there's scientific evidence to back up the fact that oil impacts, that this industry is impacting the climate chaos that we are facing, not just in this country, but all over the world. So here's what the lawsuit. So here, let me break it down first of what the lawsuit filed yesterday by the Attorney General in the great state of New Jersey and the Division of Consumer Affairs. So here we go. The lawsuit filed in New Jersey Superior Court in Mercer County targets ExxonMobil Corporation, Shell Oil, Chevron, BP, ConocoPhillips, and the American Petroleum Institute. And here's what the suit argues. The defendants have known for decades that the use of fossil fuel is a major cause of climate change, but instead of warning the public or the state about the danger, they launched public relations campaigns to sow doubt about the existence, causes, and effects of climate change. That is coming from the Attorney General of the great state of New Jersey. And so, David, this disinformation was deliberate. And they spread this by these companies, and they've been bankrolled, they've misled the people of this country, all in the name of profit. That's it. Profit over the climate, profit over people, profit over the ecosystem. Hell, they don't care if we have, if Mother Earth is habitable for any of us. All they care is about the almighty dollar.
And I don't think their cares are gonna change unless, of course, we can go after sort of their bottom line. And it reminds me a lot of the tobacco companies 20 years ago. They didn't stop, they didn't put warning labels on cigarettes because they cared about people. It's because they were starting to be sued in so many different courts and successfully. And I almost feel like it's the same thing here. Good for the state of New Jersey, the Attorney General, to go after these greedy oil conglomerates and corporations that are already making so much money. I don't think anything is gonna cause these companies to suddenly care about climate change or to worry about the impact on humanity. However, once they start to see that, okay, juries are coming back with multi-billion-dollar judgments against them because they've lied, because where else in the world do we allow people to simply take their pollution and dump it out and not have to pay for it? That's what we do with these companies. We allow them to pump their pollution into our air, and there's no cost to them, but there's a huge cost for the rest of us. Well, I'm glad to see that at least the state of New Jersey is gonna say, no, now it's time to pay up.
Yeah, Attorney General Matthew Plankin, he's on top of this. And New Jersey has long felt the effects of climate change, especially during Hurricane Superstorm Sandy in 2012. So Sean LaTourette, New Jersey's Environmental Protection Commissioner, called the state, quote, ground zero for some of the worst impacts of climate change. And then Hurricane Sandy was the costliest natural disaster in the history of New Jersey, with $30 billion with a B in damages. And here are just some of the effects of fossil fuels have on the environment. Let's show the people what some of those effects are. And I know people are living with these effects, especially people if you have asthma or any of those other sorts of conditions. This kind of pollution exacerbates that. But air pollution, water pollution, plastic pollution, and oil spills. So we're talking about water and air, two of the three essential things that we absolutely need to live. And then when you think about the soil too, David, that is a problem too. So we gotta breathe the air, we got to drink the water, and we absolutely need clean food. And it's not a coincidence that the same 5 companies mentioned in the lawsuit have made billions in 2022. Shell, ExxonMobil, BP, Chevron, ConocoPhillips brought in more than 200% in profits than they did in the first quarter of 2021. That is a total of more than $35 billion, that is billion with a B, in profits in just 3 months, just 3 little months. And New Jersey now joins several other states and cities currently filing lawsuits, similar lawsuits. Let's take a look at the other places in this country who are filing those lawsuits. We got Rhode Island, Delaware, Minnesota, DC. Ooh-wee. David, this makes me giddy.
It would make me even giddier if I could say that it was the state of the District of Columbia, not just this sort of colony that people, that's a whole other issue. But the fact of the matter is, look, and I hate to sort of keep bringing it back to productivity, but at a certain point, I almost feel like the oil companies, when they see that our society cannot be as economic, cannot be as profitable as it should be because we keep having climate disasters and people keep getting out of work and so much infrastructure keeps getting destroyed. At that point, maybe they say, okay, well, if we want to sell more oil and gas, we want to sell more energy, we need to stop having these disasters. So maybe that's a reason why they start to do the right thing. And I'm also glad, I mean, the state of New Jersey, I think it's going to help draw the connection because I think there are people in that state and other states who still don't yet draw the connection between the disasters confronting them in their neighborhoods because of climate change and the contributing factor that these oil companies are essentially causing a large part of it. And as more states are able to make this argument, I think more people who are perhaps not as informed will start to make the connection and realize, no, this has to change for everybody.
I totally agree with that, David. So shout out to the Attorney General, great state of New Jersey, and all the other areas in this country that are standing up to big oil. They're doing it on behalf of each and every one of us.